One of the subwoofers on this list has a real shot at blowing out before your first road trip. One of them is the sub-professional installers reach for without even thinking twice. Today, I'm ranking 6 car audio subwoofer brands, dead last all the way up to the one I'd actually put in my own car. And I'll show you exactly what separates them, spec for spec. If you're new, this is where we cut through the marketing on car audio gear, so you don't have to learn the hard way. Quick note before we start, smash that subscribe button and stick around, because number 1 on this list might not be who you're expecting. Number 6, Boss Audio Systems. Starting at the bottom, and if you've spent 5 minutes in a car audio forum, you saw this coming. Boss Audio. Here's the trick. Boss loves to slap a number like 2,000 watts on the box in huge letters. That's a peak number, the absolute max the sub might survive for a split second. It is not what the sub can handle for the length of a song, which is the RMS rating, the number that actually matters. When installers and forum regulars talk about Boss, it's the same complaint every time. Undersized voice coils and basically no real thermal management. So the sub cooks itself the first time you actually push it. Bottom line, if you see a massive peak wattage number for under 60 bucks, that's the red flag. Boss is the brand that made that red flag famous. Number 5, Pyle, right behind them, Pyle. Same playbook. Huge peak wattage number on the box. Thin cone, basic stamped surround, price to sell on looks alone. You'll find Pyle sitting right next to Boss on pretty much every brands to avoid list car audio communities have put together over the years. For the same reasons, to be fair to them, Pyle isn't really trying to be a performance brand. It's trying to be the cheapest thing on the shelf that technically plays bass. If all you want is a little extra thump for background music and you're fine replacing it in a year, it'll do that job. But if you're treating this as an actual investment in your system, this isn't it. Number 4 is the one that's genuinely hit or miss. Power Acoustik. This is where it gets interesting, because unlike Boss or Pyle, the reviews are actually split down the middle. Read enough of them and you'll find someone saying their sub has been slamming for 2 years with 0 issues, right next to someone whose identical model blew 10 days after install. Car audio forums describe it almost exactly like that. A generic, entry-level bargain brand. Workable if you don't push it hard and don't expect it to last forever, but the quality control just isn't consistent enough to count on. So Power Acoustik isn't a scam brand, it's a gamble. And I don't love recommending gambles with your car's electrical system. Now we're flipping the script, because number 3 surprises people. Skar Audio. Skar started out as the scrappy new kid. Some old-school forum threads from years back lumped it in with the brands people were skeptical of. That reputation has basically flipped. Skar now shows up as the best value pick in independent 2026 subwoofer roundups, and it's sitting on tens of thousands of customer reviews, averaging solidly above 4 stars. People genuinely love how much clean bass you get per dollar. It's not flawless, there are still scattered reports of voice coils or amp channels giving out under serious abuse. And it's not trying to be a boutique flagship brand, but Skar is proof that budget and bad aren't the same word. If your wallet's doing the deciding, this is where I'd point you. Number 2, and this is a brand that's earned every bit of its reputation, Rockford Fosgate. Installers love telling the same story, pulling a 15-year-old Rockford amp out of a car and having it fire right up like it's new. That's not an accident. That's the whole Punch and Power series philosophy. Build it to survive real heat and real years, not just look good on a spec sheet. The P3 line specifically keeps getting named a value leader in 2026 buying guides, because you get genuinely high output per dollar without gambling on reliability. And it's not just cars. Rockford's trusted in marine and power sports audio too, which tells you the durability reputation isn't just marketing. If you want proven, no drama, still kicking in a decade, this is the safe, correct choice. And the best subwoofer brand you can buy for your car in 2026 is JL Audio. Honestly, if you've been in this hobby a while, you saw this coming. Every serious buying guide I dug into for this video points at the same series, the W7, as the reference point the rest of the industry gets measured against. That's not just hype copy. JL's patented W-cone design and elevated frame cooling are actual engineering solutions to actual problems, and it shows up in independent testing. JL subs consistently come back tighter, more accurate, and more controlled than the competition, not just louder. Quick fact, a lot of people don't know JL Audio was acquired by Garmin a few years back. Brand name stayed, the engineering team stayed, and the quality hasn't slipped. You're paying flagship money for a flagship product, but if best is genuinely the goal, not just loudest for the price, JL Audio is still the one to beat. A few brands that didn't make the 6 but deserve a mention. Alpine's R-Series and Kicker's Compar Comp VR lines are both extremely safe, well-reviewed daily driver picks, and Kenwood's XL line punches above its price tag too. None of them made today's list, but all 3 are miles away from the avoid tier. That's the list dead last to best in class. Let me know in the comments which brand is currently sitting in your trunk, and if you disagree with where I put Skar or Rockford, I want to hear it. If this saved you from an impulse buy, hit subscribe. I'm ranking amps next. See you in the next one.